Okay, we're recording. So this is David Weber speaking on the 9th of December 2013. I'm meeting with Roger Steele, my old friend from Wellington, who has got an important part in his CV which includes bringing Leonard Cohen to New Zealand. And without the advantage of a few wines, this is very early in the morning, we're going to see if we can capture that story. So, Roger.
Have you got it in focus, David? Are you close up so you can get the full expression? And the...
I can come closer.
That's the story, yeah. I want a good,
So apparently, we talked for years in Wellington about bringing Leonard Cohen to New Zealand. And then you went to a concert that he took in Canada before I did. And apparently something happened there which led to him coming to New Zealand.
Yeah, well, as a publisher, I'm very conscious of book titles, and one of my favourites is Spike Milligan, who's Hitler, My Part in His Downfall. And my book title would be something like Leonard Cohen, How I Got Him to Come to New Zealand, in my dreams, probably, but the truth will never be absolutely locked down on this one. But there I was. You'd gone to the concert somewhere else in Canada on a subsidised ticket, thanks to the lovely Di, I seem to remember. I don't seem to remember a ticket coming my way, so I canoed and kayaked all the way across to Montreal with a couple of friends, my son and my friend Peter. And there we were at the concert, but we'd been out in the town that afternoon, and I'd bought a special Montrealer beret, so I was looking the absolute quintessence of a Montreal aficionado, Montreal. And so when I went out at half-time, sort of in this half in ecstasy, when I floated out, and there was all the product for sale and so on, and there was a little TV crew just getting people's reactions to Leonard's homecoming concert. So naturally, with my beret, they singled me out and grabbed me, and they did interview me. So that's all this part of the story is absolutely true. And I said we come all the way from New Zealand because we just loved the guy, and said how much we loved him. And so, yeah, just what they showed on TV that night, or showed to Lenny, or whatever, I will never know. And I don't really want a historian digging too deeply to find out. But the concert was there. There was no expectation of coming into New Zealand. Next minute, about a month later, we hear New Zealand tour advertised. Can that be a coincidence, I ask you? Can that be pure coincidence? Anyway, of course, that I met Leonard when he came to Wellington.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that story, so that was going to be part B, but let's get into it.
Well, that's the whole thing, you see. I'd heard that he was in town. I went to see him in Wellington a little bit, and then I heard that he was just sitting out on the street outside the Park Royal Hotel, the Intercontinental. So I zoomed off down there, put on my black hat, and raced off down there, and there was some person, would you believe, taking his photograph. I waited about a minute before I pushed to the side. And I said, would you mind? And he said, I would not. So I sat down next to him with my little cheapy Wellington black hat, and there he was in his Stetson. Oh, I was so close I could read the brand name.
Not his suit as well?
I can't remember what he was wearing. I only remember the warmth of his welcome and the sharpness of his hat. And we had this important talk, a lovely talk. I'd not long before conducted a funeral, and instead of it was a very, very sad funeral because the guy died young. And I conducted it, and I led his wife out, and the song that we played as we left the church with the body was Dance Me to the End of Love. And I told Leonard that, about how, which is just not the sort of song you would normally pick. Told him that. And I undoubtedly told him about my Montrealer beret and my role in his coming to New Zealand. And all I can say is that I cannot remember any denial, so I'm pretty much sure that cinches it, that it's all thanks to that Montreal beret that Lenny came here. Saint Leonard we call him, and we love him. And so good luck to all fans of Leonard Cohen.
Thank you, Roger.